$2.6 trillion plus $88 billion. I have all the details and what these numbers mean right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, I have a few updates for you right here in this video, including what that $2.6 trillion and what the $88 billion actually represents, so let's get into it and discuss all of these headlines. Alright, so first off, President Biden and the First Lady were out earlier today on a little bike ride, and President Biden took a little spill. So apparently he was slowing down to meet a few people that were stopped there wanting to greet him or meet him, and apparently he took a little tumble when he was getting off of his bike. Apparently he popped right up right afterward and said, "I'm all good." So apparently he's doing just fine. I have not seen any other updates that say anything otherwise, but anyway, that happened earlier today and thought that you might find that to be a little bit interesting. Next, I want to share this with you, and again, I know that a lot of you here in the community might not actually care about this, but the fact of the matter is we gotta watch things like this because it's giving a better glimpse into what is really going on with this economy. Yesterday alone, over 6,000 flights were either canceled or delayed severely. As a result of that, what does that actually mean going forward? Well, it means that there's either a lack of workers or there's possibly a massive surge of people trying to fly and travel. But they actually blamed it on weather. Where is there bad weather in this country right now? I guess I'm just curious. Is there like snowstorms or like hurricanes or something that I'm missing? I'm not really sure, but other than extreme heat going on right now, I'm not really sure of any severe weather around the country. So I'm not really sure where they're getting this weather excuse from. But anyway, that's what they said. So I thought it was a little bit interesting because, as I've been saying here in the last few videos, and for the last several weeks now, we're basically seeing this house of cards starting to crumble right in front of us as far as the economy goes. And you got to watch things like this because this is where things actually start is, starting to see layoffs, cancellations, bankruptcies. We're starting to see that. And then it starts to tumble on kind of a bigger macro scale, right? So anyway, it's just interesting to see this because why are there flight delays and cancellations right now? I don't know. It doesn't really seem like there should be any excuse for that these days, right? But anyway, just one more little piece of the puzzle that I'd like to keep an eye on going forward, right? All right, let's talk about this $88 billion. Now, this is important. This just came out. I just noticed this today for the first time. Apparently, President Biden is going to be addressing Congress and asking for $88 billion to set aside and get ready for the next wave of COVID and or the next potential pandemic that we actually approach here at some point. Now, as we've actually been noticing here over the last several weeks and the last couple months, COVID cases are actually starting to tick up quite a bit here across the United States. Apparently, there's a couple new variants going around right now. I'm honestly not even really keeping track with all these new variants out there right now, but apparently across the country, there are a bunch of more cases that are popping up on a daily basis, and they're actually anticipating that these next waves will be coming in here like this month, next month, and through the summer, and then up again possibly in the fall. So, who knows, right? One more thing to add to the list of all this stuff going on right now, COVID. So, interesting. Also, they also did just approve the COVID vaccines for people aged 5 and younger that should be starting up next week as well. So, I know that doesn't pertain to a lot of people here in the community, but kind of interesting because when I saw this come out, I thought, really? COVID vaccines for little kids like 5 and under? And I thought, why? Like, aren't we kind of beyond this COVID thing? And then I started looking into it again. It's like, oh, I guess COVID is still kind of around more than I actually gave it credit for because it's not really something that I look at all that much anymore, right? I kind of come across it every so often, but I don't follow it all that closely because there's a lot of other things that are, a little bit more pressing right now that we should probably be watching a little bit more urgently, right? So anyway, that's where that $88 billion is coming from, is apparently President Biden will be coming out asking Congress for this relatively soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be this week, but he said, and according to the reports I was reading on this, apparently sometime before the end of this month. Well, the end of this month is coming really fast here, right? It's only like, week and a half away or so, roughly. So, yeah, anyway, apparently he's going to be asking Congress for that sometime within the next week and a half, maybe 2 weeks or so. That's what they say, but again, there could be some delays on that, and we'll see what that actually encompasses as far as how far-reaching does that go? Is it, what kind of things are going to be included in this package? So anyway, $88 billion is what he's asking for. Next, $2.6 trillion. Do you want to take a little guess what this is all about? I'll tell you this much. It's a new record. This is the most that they have ever collected. I'm going to say that much, okay? Do you want to take a guess what this is? Check this out. It is how much the government is going to be collecting this year in 2022 in tax revenues. $2.6 trillion. This is the most amount of tax revenues that they will ever collect in the history of the United States since taxes were brought into law, as in given the ability for the federal government to start collecting taxes way back in 1913. So what is that, 108 years ago? 109 years ago was when this was brought into law, right? So when the federal government was given permission to start getting and collecting tax revenues 109 years ago, that's what it is. This will be the most they've ever collected in the history of the United States. Now, let me put this into perspective because this is interesting. $2.6 trillion. Remember this much. The biggest stimulus package that they passed over the last 2.5 years here was in March of 2020, and it was $2.2 trillion. Just put it in perspective. This is another $400 billion more, nearly another $500 billion more than what they approved with the biggest stimulus package. The stimulus package back about a year and a half ago in early 2021 was $1.9 trillion. So you can see here, this is a ton of money, right? Unbelievable. In fact, here's what they're also saying, that this is actually 28% higher from federal income taxes than what it was last year. So they're collecting an extra 28% more this year in 2022 than what they did last year from like paychecks and from the people, from the citizens, the American people, right? Now, here's what else is interesting about this. The reports were also going on to show that they're seeing this massive uptick in tax revenues simply because people got raises and now they're basically taking it all, right? Does it kind of ring a little bit of a bell for those of you who receive maybe Social Security benefits of any kind, and all of a sudden every year you get your annual cost of living adjustment, and then sure enough, Medicare swoops in and takes almost the entire cost of living adjustment? Seems kind of similar, right? So all these people out there apparently are getting raises, getting paid a little bit more these days, and then it's being basically all taken away because of federal taxes. So, I don't know, kind of interesting. Seems a little bit reminiscent, doesn't it? For fixed income beneficiaries, the same thing. So, anyway, but it's kind of sad at the same time. I'm going to throw this out there as well. Again, I don't like to instill my opinions in a lot of these videos, but at the same time, I just want to throw this out there. Here's the thing. This is a time right now where I've come back so many times here over the last couple of weeks and over the last few days. Multiple reports coming out saying, people earning $250,000 or more are living paycheck to paycheck. Anybody living under $100,000 a year of income is basically living paycheck to paycheck. Even a significant number of people over 6 figures a year are living paycheck to paycheck. So right now we're living paycheck to paycheck. People are struggling to get food on the table, struggling to pay the bills, the utilities, paying the car payments, putting gas in the car with $5 a gallon across the country, and $6 and even $6.50, even $7 in some locations. And here we are paying record amount into the federal government in taxes. Again, throw us a bone, guys. Seriously, when we're struggling, it's not time to take more. Again, I don't like to throw my opinions in here, but I just have to say that because it's seriously, during a time like this, let's just get real. Let's help the people out here in any way that we possibly can, right? So, anyway, these are the reports. Obviously, there's nothing I can do about this. I'm just here to report the information for you. But at the same time, there's a time right now where everybody's struggling so much. It would just be nice if they said, let's just take a little break from this right now. Let's cut things back a little bit. Let's help the people. Let's have them save a little bit more money going on. Let's help everybody get a little bit more money to go out to the grocery stores and buy the foods and everything that they need right now and, whatever. But again, it would just be nice if that happened. But who knows? Maybe we'll get some kind of check, some kind of relief, something going forward here. But again, these are the numbers. Actually, here's what's interesting. With all this extra surplus of cash that they're bringing in from tax revenues, who knows? Maybe they'll want to be a little bit extra generous because they have all this extra money flowing around, right? So, who knows, right? Anyway, I'll keep you posted as I do get more details. Now, of course, if you're hanging out this weekend, whatever you happen to be doing, please stay safe. I've been looking at the weather across the country right now, and it looks like there is a significant portion of the country that's going to be dealing with near triple-digit or over triple-digit weather this weekend. So, wow. That's unbelievable in a lot of locations, right? So please stay safe out there. I know it's incredibly expensive right now to run air conditioning. I'm trying to keep mine off as much as possible. In fact, I had a bunch of windows open. Well, not that many windows open. We only have a few windows. But my point is, we only had I had the windows open, and I was like, hey, I love it. It's kind of warm, whatever. And my wife Corey came in and she's like, it's like super hot in here. Can we like turn the air on? And I was like, can we just like wait a little bit? What are you thinking? But anyway, so quick side note, but I always try to milk it out as much as I possibly can before I have to turn that air on because I just don't want to pay the bills. You know what I mean? It gets very expensive running that thing constantly, and I just don't love those paying those bills at all. So anyway, please stay safe this weekend. It's supposed to be super hot. Other than that, have a great day. Thanks so much for watching this. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. There's a lot going on right now, and I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Also, go back and check out some of the videos here over the last 3 or so days. If you watch the right ones, you're going to see some pretty cool announcements, and I'd say leave your comments below on those videos as well, because I might just choose your name. So I'll leave it up to the mystery as in which videos I'm talking about, but we're giving away some pretty cool stuff here. Anyway, have a nice day. Until next time, enjoy, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.